one of our Safe Space Collective Worship Assembly videos. My name's Tabz.
I'm Hettie.
And we are here to talk to you today and have a bit of fun with you today, all about the theme of love.
Love. So nice.
In fact, as we're recording this session, it's coming up to Valentine's Day.
It is.
Hettie? Do you like Valentine's Day, Hettie?
I never used to, because I was like, we can tell people we love them all the time. Why do we need a special day? But actually, because now we're married, it gives us an excuse just to hang out and do something a bit more special.
Yeah.
So actually, I kind of like it. And I'm not really big on cards, but it's nice to send you a nice card that says something that I love you. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder, have you sent a Valentine's Day card before?
Yeah, I mean, Valentine's Day cards, they're nice and all, but I think there's one really big problem with them as well.
Okay.
Maybe if you watch until the end of the session, I'll let you in on what my huge problem with Valentine's Day cards is.
Okay.
I'll let you in on it.
Right, well, let's get on with it then, because I want to know what it is. So we've got some fun and a game and a story and some thoughts and challenges for you too. So let's get on with it.
So, one of the things that we're going to talk today about is how love brings people together, not just in a romantic way, but in meaningful, caring ways too, with family and friends and whatever else, reminding people that they are not alone and that we're better together.
Sounds good.
So, I thought we'd play a game of matching pairs.
Together. I like matching pairs. Yeah, let's do that.
So, behind us, you can see there are 16 cards, all labelled A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Can you say that fast?
Probably not. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. No.
Okay. But it's actually, on these cards, there are 8 pairs, when you turn them over, of pictures that we have to match up.
Right.
So we're going to take it in turns to turn over 2 cards.
Yeah.
And if they match, then we can leave them turned over.
Yeah.
And if they're different, we have to remember what was on them.
Yeah.
And then turn them back over to their letters from the next person's turn.
Okay. Right, can I go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to try E.
Okay.
Oh, it's a plaster.
Yeah.
And L.
L. Oh, donkey.
They do not match.
They are not the same.
Nope.
Let's turn them over, shall we? My go. Okay, I'm going to go for D. Rose. And N. Oh, it's a Valentine's Day card.
Okay, I'm going to H. I'll have H. Oh, it's a Valentine's Day card, and you just had that on N.
There you go. 2 Valentine's Day cards.
Okay.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to go for G.
Ooh.
Heart. Okay.
Okay.
And A.
Oh, wow! Wow!
All right.
That was
the blue.
Okay, I'm going to go for C.
Okay.
Or a robber. And I'll have I.
A rose. We've had a rose.
Oh, we have?
We have.
We have.
Had a rose. Okay.
It's going to get it, isn't it?
D. Yes, rose. And you have, what did you have? Oh, I. Yes, I got it. There we go.
Well done.
2 roses. Okay,
I'm going to go K.
K.
Oh, money.
Money.
Interesting. Okay. B. A donkey.
A donkey. No. We have had a donkey though.
Oh, we have. Oh no, we have. Yeah.
Was it E? No. That is a plaster. We haven't had a plaster though.
That was the plaster we had.
Oh, it was.
I turned over.
Oh, okay.
Try one we've not had.
Oh. Wow.
Hey, plaster. Wow.
Wow.
Okay, so that leaves me. I'm going to try and find those donkeys.
Yeah.
I think they are B and L.
Oh,
Yes.
you're right. Yeah.
Woo, woo, woo,
Okay. All right. Money.
Oh,
Money. We've had money.
I've had
money. It might have been K.
It was K.
Money. Okay.
I'm going to go for F. I don't think we've had that. Or cross.
Cross.
Okay, cross.
Nice.
J?
J.
Robber.
No.
They don't match.
Okay. P.
Oh,
A cross. You just had a
I
cross.
just had a cross.
Which I think that was F.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which
F.
then-
There we go, 2 crosses.
Leaves us, is these the last ones?
Yes.
C and J should be robbers.
Brilliant! Oh yeah, we did it.
Woohoo!
Okay.
We did it.
Great. So actually, all of those 8 different things all feature in what we're talking about
Oh,
today,
interesting.
and a little bit in the story that you're about to tell us. Hettie's got a story with a bit of rhyming.
Why not?
So why not? Let's hear what Hettie's rhyming story's about.
All right then. One day, Jesus was asked a question by a man trying to test what he'd say. "How can I have eternal life?" he said. Jesus answered, "Does God's law share a way? Love God with everything you are and love your neighbour as yourself," he said. "But who is my neighbour?" he added. Jesus answered with a story instead. A man was travelling from Jerusalem to Jericho, walking along on his own. When he was attacked by a bunch of robbers, the man cried and let out a moan. They took his clothes and his money, and everything else he had with him. He lay on the floor, crying in pain. Without help, the outlook was grim. But just then, a priest came by. The man felt hope that he'd offer support. But the priest looked at him disgusted. "I'm not going near him," he thought. So the priest walked by on the other side, and the man cried out again. Then another religious leader came by. Perhaps he would help ease the pain. But no, he walked on and didn't look back. He didn't want to get dirt on his clothes. So the man lay there alone once again, hurting from his head to his toes. Some time later, he heard some footsteps. He opened his eyes to see. "It's a Samaritan," the man said to himself. "We're enemies, so he won't help me." But to his surprise, the Samaritan man got down to his knees on the floor. He soothed his wounds with oil and bandaged him up so he'd feel less sore. The Samaritan helped him to his feet and took him to an inn so he could heal. He paid money for his stay and food and any help. All he did showed that his love was real. So Jesus turned back to the man and he asked, in the story, the neighbour was who? The one who showed love, the man replied. Yes, Jesus said, now do that too.
So, often we talk about Valentine's Day, but have you ever wondered where it came from? Where did Valentine's Day start? Well, most people would say it was originally named after a man called Saint Valentine, who was a Christian saint hundreds of years ago. Now, stories in the Bible, like the Good Samaritan that Hettie told, lots of people have been telling each other about and writing records of them happening for thousands of years, but stories like Christian saints don't have as much well-known records, and sometimes their stories get a little bit lost and confused. So different people have heard different stories about who Saint Valentine was, but from what I've read, I think he was a very good man. Who knew that people were better together and knew it was important to share real love. You see, he lived around 300 AD under the rule of the Romans that you might have learnt about, and as a Christian leader he wasn't treated very well, and the Romans tried to stop him from performing marriages of Christian couples, which I don't think was very fair. But because he believed so strongly in showing real love and bringing people together, he was actually thrown in prison. and eventually put to death. He must have been very passionate or really, really loved a good wedding to have gone through all of that for the sake of bringing people together in marriage. But love isn't just about weddings, is it? Love is more than just kissy love. Do you love your parents or carers? Do you love your brothers or sisters? Do you love to play games or watch your favourite sport? Do you love cake? I love cake. Do you love your pets? Do you love your friends? But do you love cake in the same way you love your best mate? I don't think you would be eating your best friend, would you? Or do you spend all your football matches stood there hugging and kissing the ball instead of kicking it? Nah. You see, there's loads of different types of love, and even more ways to show love. A lot of those people or things we talked about loving, we might have great reasons for loving them too. If I asked you why you love your friends, you might love them because they stick by you, or when you need them, or maybe they're fun to have around. We call these reasons for loving someone, or conditions. Even it's like saying, I love you on one condition. Now, Mr. Cake, I will love you on one condition. One condition that you taste absolutely amazing. In the story Hettie rhymed for us earlier, we heard about the story Jesus told in the Bible called the Good Samaritan. Now, the man who was robbed and hurt was a Jew, but the man who helped him was a Samaritan. Now, back then, Samaritans and Jews didn't really mix very well. They didn't really have any reasons to show love to each other. And the Samaritan, well, he didn't come along and say, I'll show you love and help on one condition. Nobody needed to give him a reason. The Samaritan helped because he was showing unconditional love. Love that doesn't need reasons or conditions. That was real love. Jesus said in that story to love your neighbour as yourself, to treat others how you would want to be treated, especially if you were to put yourself in their shoes and think about how they might be feeling in that moment. Christians believe Jesus went on to show that unconditional, real love himself. When he died on the cross for everyone, he didn't do that to pay anyone back for the nice things they had done for him. Quite the opposite. He did it without reason, simply to show forgiveness and real love. And even better, Christians also believe Jesus rose from the dead 3 days later in order that people can love him back, and Christians today can live with God in their lives. Better together. So, as we're thinking about love, not just on Valentine's Day, but whenever really, what can you do to put real love, unconditional love, into action? What can you do to remind other people that they're not alone and that you love them? Maybe it's surprising someone at home by making them a drink. Maybe it's drawing a picture or sending someone a card to tell them that you're thinking of them. Maybe, like the Good Samaritan, it's showing love to someone you might not even know, like asking a grown-up to put something in the food bank collection at a supermarket that will eventually get to someone who needs it. In fact, right, here's a challenge. Do you want a challenge? You do want a challenge. I know you want a challenge. Try and think of a different thing that you can do every day for the next week to show some real love. Different thing every day. And if you get on well with that, what about trying for the next week maybe? And maybe if you make it through 2 weeks, maybe you could get so into it that you keep going all the way to like Easter when Christians celebrate what I was talking about, Jesus on the cross. Or maybe even beyond that, maybe it'll become so it's just so natural that you just can't stop unconditionally loving people. But at least try it. At least try thinking of something this week. Yeah, that's the challenge. 7 days. I think you can do that.
Wow, that was great. I think
thanks.
it's really important for us to talk about love and talk about real love. But there is one thing that you didn't answer for us that you said that you would.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
So,
okay.
come on.
Yeah, I nearly forgot. Sorry. Thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome.
The only thing I don't like about Valentine's Day cards is that silly tradition where you don't write your name in it. You know, when people leave your name out, you're like, from you know who or
Your
whatever.
secret admirer.
Your secret admirer. Because I think that actually, with everything we've been talking about, with real love and helping us feel better together, I think it's important to know who it is.
True.
And who it is that loves you and who's there for us, knowing that we're not alone.
Yeah.
And I think having a name on there could help, that's all. Reminding people that they are better together, even in times where we're not allowed to see each other, the way we used to, perhaps, but to help us show real love to each other and remind each other just how good it is to be better together.
Brilliant. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that as much as we have, and we'll hopefully see you again. Bye!